Okay, hey guys. I am gonna try to make this video quick, although I feel like I have a ton to say and I want to be like sensitive to other people, I guess. So you probably know by the title of this video, I feel like my camera is not. There's also a man sawing wood right outside our house, so I'm sorry if you hear that. We're gonna be talking today about if we are sending our kids to school or not this year because of COVID. And I know that everyone's districts are doing like different things, so I'm gonna tell you guys what our county is doing and then tell you guys what our decision is. This is really bothering me because I should be able to sit up like this. So back in March, when schools were canceled or went to e-learning or whatever, the teachers were in a hurry to try to, they've never done this before, so they were in a hurry to try to figure out how they're going to end the school year and finish out everything. Basically, we got like a huge packet that we had to go pick up from the school with workbooks and papers and all this, like books and stuff, and we basically did like a self-paced thing at home. And then after about 2 weeks of that, when we realized we weren't going to be going back at all, we then transitioned to like Zoom classes with her teacher that were only like an hour long, and then the rest of the day was the like self-paced thing. And this was with Jane. If you guys don't know that, or you're new here, my name's Jennifer, by the way. I guess I should have introduced myself. Jane is my oldest daughter, and she is going into 2nd grade. So this was last year when she was in 1st. And then Jackson is going into kindergarten this year. So we're not just having Jane in school, we're having 2 kids. And then Piper was supposed to start preschool. She's never been in preschool before. She just turned 4. And she was taking the spot of Jackson, who was in the preschool last year. The preschool is pretty popular and they don't have space available for a lot. Like there's not that many spots. And so you usually have to be on a waiting list. So Piper took his spot and she will be going to preschool, or that was the plan. Doing the e-learning with Jane was close to a nightmare. It was terrible. And I know that other people had the same experiences as we did. It was a struggle to get her to do anything. She loves school. She loves going to school. She is a great student. Like, she gets good grades. I mean, they don't really do grades in 1st grade, but she's a good reader. She loves math. She's always doing good in school. But then at home, it wasn't nice. It wasn't pleasant. Her main concern, or her main complaint, was that Jackson and Piper were playing when she was trying to do work, and she would get distracted by her toys in her room, or it wasn't fair that her brother and sister were getting to play and she had to do work. And I understand it was a struggle. It was a struggle to get her to do anything. I would say like the first week or so, it was like a cool new thing, like, ooh, I'm going on the computer to do this, or I'm working at home, and we got her like a desk and everything. And that was like exciting. But then after a few weeks, she was just over it. She did not enjoy it at all, and neither did I. I am a stay-at-home mom. I do YouTube I have 2 channels here, so that kind of went on the back burner, which is fine. And Chris works from home, so we're lucky in that aspect, but it was like louder at home with her there. And then I also teach dance, but that really didn't, that's in the afternoon, so that didn't really hinder anything. So I don't know, it was very hard. It was very, very hard. And so we were really, really looking forward to this coming school year. Jackson has been looking forward to kindergarten. He cannot wait to go to the school with Jane, and Jane would talk about holding his hand and taking him to his classroom, and they would wave to each other in the hallway, and it was like a whole big thing that they were all excited about. Our schools, not all the schools in our county do this, but our school announces who your teacher is at the end of the school year. So at the end of 1st grade, we knew who Jane's 2nd grade teacher was, and we knew who Jackson's kindergarten teacher was. And both of them got really good teachers. Jane got a teacher that she actually requested and wanted. She didn't really know her that well, but she knew her from a friend that was in her class, and we've talked to her a few times, and she's a really sweet lady. And then Jackson's teacher actually took the place of Jane's kindergarten teacher. And so it was the same room as Jane's kindergarten class. And, oh, I'm sad. Sorry, I just realized something. She is the mother of a girl that was in Jane's class last year, and they've also been in dance together before. So we know who that teacher is as well. We know her. So we were really excited. And then just like everybody else, this summer has been ups and downs, and now all the numbers across the United States are spiking in the coronavirus, and we were all hoping it would be gone by the end of the summer and we would all be going back to school and it would be great, but that is just not what's happening. So again, I'm trying to make this video quick, but I just want to get my point across. Our county just came out today with what the plan is for the school year. And basically we have two choices to make, or we have one choice to make between two options. The first option is face-to-face learning, where you would go to school 5 days a week, just like we did before. And there's a lot of new precautions, a lot of new things put in place for safety, obviously, and I will go over those in a second. And then the second one is a virtual option, where you will take a virtual school option. The face-to-face option, the child and the teacher have to wear a mask the entire day. It's not an option. They require it, just like they require uniforms at our school. The children will be social distance in the classroom. Their desks will all face the same way. Jane's classroom, they had like a big desk, one big desk, and like 4 students sat around that one big table instead of individual desks. But I think they might be going to individual desks, or just 2 students on one side. Like, they're not going to be students facing each other. They will be in that classroom the entire day. So they will eat lunch in there, they will learn in there, and then their specials will, like PE, art, science, all of that, the teacher will come to that classroom. So again, the students aren't leaving that classroom. I'm not sure what they were doing for recess. It wasn't very clear if there was even going to be recess, or if there was, it would be like just the one classroom or one classroom at a time, instead of what they did last year and years prior. The whole grade got to go to the recess together. So Jane had friends in her class, obviously, but then she had some really good friends who she would meet up at the playground every day. So that's probably not going to be an option. And then again, in the cafeteria, seeing her friends and everything wouldn't be a thing either. They said they were taking out like unnecessary furniture and stuff in the classrooms and everything. So to me, it just sounded like not a great experience that I would want my children to be in. Kind of like scary, kind of. And again, I want to be sensitive, and I will have lots of disclaimers at the end of this, but that's just how I felt reading it. The only thing that I got on the virtual option was that it's going to be way different than it was back in March, which is hopefully good, and that they will basically be in a classroom with a teacher for the whole time, I think. The sad thing is I don't think that they're gonna have teachers that we thought we were getting. We probably won't get. Like, even if we choose face-to-face or if we choose virtual, I think they're waiting to see what the parents pick and then like redoing the classrooms, because they need to have like a certain amount of kids in each classroom. So I think the opportunity for us to have the teachers that we thought we were going to have is very low. So with that said, we are choosing to do virtual school, and there are a few main reasons why we chose that, and it was kind of an easy choice for us. The main reason was our kids' safety. Obviously, we don't want our children to get sick. We are in South Carolina. I don't know if you guys are paying attention to coronavirus or not, but we're like one of the highest states with the highest numbers. We're one of the states with the highest number of cases, and it's very high here and sad. So that's the main reason. We don't want to put our children in a situation where they might get sick if we can help it. The second reason is we do have an option of having our kids here. Some parents do not have an option. Some parents have to work outside of the home, and they cannot leave their elementary aged child at home. They do not have a choice. They have to take their child to school, or they will lose their job. And then teachers, some teachers have children who they have to go teach, and so they don't have a choice, again, to leave their elementary aged child at home. And so those daughters and sons of the teachers have to go to school as well. So my thought was, if I have the option and the luxury of keeping my kids at home, it may be a selfish thing of me, but it's also helping others, because that is 2 less children that are in that school and 1 less child in a certain classroom for them to be able to social distance a little more, or have less people in the hallways, things like that. So I feel like if other people did the same thing, if other people took their situations into consideration, not just, oh, I'm just ready for my kid to go back to school and just send them, let the people that need their kids to be in school and let them go to school and feel a little bit more comfortable that there's not 100% full capacity of children there. I hope that makes sense. So that was another one of our thoughts, is like, if we can help the people that are doing face-to-face to be able to social distance a little more, then we will do that. Do I want my kids to be able to have face-to-face learning? Absolutely. Do I want my children to be learning at home? No. So I feel like everyone's making a sacrifice in this situation. No choice is the right choice. No choice is the better choice. They all have their pros and they all have their cons. And so really you just have to decide what is best for your family and what you feel like you can do or you can't do. And I'm terrified that I'm going to be a terrible teacher, or my kids aren't going to learn anything this next school year because I'm technically the one that's having to teach them. I'm hoping that the virtual learning will be a little bit better, like I said, than it was last year. And I'm not saying that Jane didn't learn anything during e-learning, but it was just a very difficult situation. It was very strange and it was not good. So I'm really hoping that it's different. My heart breaks for Jackson. He wants to go to kindergarten so bad. He wants to go into that school. He wants to go have a teacher. He wants to make new friends. He's not going to really be able to make friends in a virtual setting. And he doesn't have friends here in our town. My good girlfriends some have children, but they're all girls. And he just doesn't have any great friends. And so I was really looking forward to him making friends. Jane made a ton of friends in kindergarten and a ton more in first grade. She has so many friends, and I know Jackson will be the same way. He'll be able to make friends really easily, and I just feel like he would just thrive in that setting. And so my heart really does break for him. I'm worried for him. Jane learned how to read in kindergarten. I had nothing to do with her learning how to read. Her teacher did an amazing job of teaching her how to read. And I just am so confused of how this is going to work. Like, how is he going to learn over a computer? I just don't get it. All I could do is hope that it's going to work, hope that it's going to be a good thing. My heart breaks for Jane. She is constantly asking, when is she going back to school? When is she going back to school? When can she see her friends? She was so excited because her best friend that she made in kindergarten was going to be in her second grade class, and she was so excited about that. And that's all she's been talking about all summer, was how her and Addie were going to be in class together. And I don't think that's going to happen now. I don't think she's going to have the teacher that she wanted to have. So one thing I wanted to make sure of when I signed the kids up for virtual learning was if they'd be able to go to face-to-face learning if this virus magically disappeared, or if the numbers like decreased severely. And the answer to that was yes. So we have the option, if we pick virtual or even if we pick face-to-face, we could switch what we're doing at any time. They did recommend that we did whatever we chose to do at least for one semester, just so you're not like messing up your child or trying to like do too many things, which I totally get. So we're just going to take it semester by semester, and I'm just crossing my fingers that hopefully at the end of the school year, Jackson will be able to go into the classroom. I'm not sure if, I'm pretty sure he'll have to like switch his teacher mid-year if we did that, and Jane would have to switch her teacher. So we'll just weigh the pros and cons when it comes to that, but that was an option which I do feel comfortable with. I'm glad that if I'm choosing virtual, it doesn't mean we have to stick with that all year, and then they're not going to go back to the building until next year. Might happen depending on this virus, but hopefully not, and we can get the kids into the building at some point this year. That's the plan. That's what we hope for. The other thing that I feel like is a real struggle is kind of like the opposite of them getting sick from the virus is, you know, if we're sheltering our kids here at home, like we're not going anywhere, we're not doing anything, we're doing virtual learning, is their immune systems aren't being built up. And I do believe in that. I do believe in, like, if your kids are around other kids or out and about with other people, they're exposed to a lot of different germs and things, and then their bodies fight it off, and then they have really strong immune systems. I totally get that. And I do think that us not sending our kids or just hoarding them here at home is not a great idea. Jane is still in dance, and we keep going back and forth. We send her some weeks, we don't send her other weeks. It's just what we feel comfortable with. I'm still teaching dance, so I have to go anyways. So she's still getting exposure there. The difference between dance and school is that she's only at dance for 2 hours instead of 7, and there's only 10 kids allowed in the class, in the dance room at a time, and with the one teacher. No parents are allowed in. That's a whole nother thing, but we do feel a little more comfortable sometimes sending her to dance than we would the school. And they have to wear masks and all that. So she'll still get exposure there. Hopefully we'll feel comfortable to send her to dance. And then Jackson, we still want him to play baseball and whatever sports he wants to do. Right now he's really into baseball, so we're gonna sign him up for fall ball. Hopefully he can do that. We had him signed up for spring, and then we just pulled him out because it was just too much. Hopefully they'll be able to do those things, and then we're going to like our neighborhood pool and stuff like that. So we're not like quarantined to where we aren't seeing anybody, but I do feel like getting him into that school would be the best plan in the long run. Again, these are like small things that I have to worry about. I'm not, so this is hard because I sound like I'm complaining, but there are so many people in worse situations. I'm sure there's people out there, mothers out there, fathers out there, who wish they could have their child do virtual learning. They don't want to send their child to face-to-face, but they have to, and they're just hoping that the sanitation and the protocols are good enough. And I'm lucky enough that I don't have to do that. So anyways, I knew this was going to be hard to say and figure out, and I hope that I'm coming across genuine on this video. I support every single one of the parents' decisions of whether they're sending their kid back or not. It's such a hard decision. It is so hard. Some people are pulling their kids out all together and just homeschooling, which is great. It is so hard. I hate that we're even having to make this decision. I hate it. I hate that everyone pretty much in the United States is having to, and other places in the world, are having to decide whether to send their kid to school or not. It's crazy. So anyways, my heart goes out to everybody. We're doing virtual. I have lots of plans for videos. We're gonna be still school shopping, probably online. We're gonna get Jackson a desk. We probably have to get a new computer. I still want to get Jackson like a book bag. He wants to eat from a lunchbox, poor guy. So we'll probably do a few videos sharing like our school routine when the time comes. Also sharing our school supplies and what we're doing for that, and some other like school tips that can go whether you're doing face-to-face learning or virtual, and we'll just take you guys along with everything. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you will support our decision as a family. We're just trying our best, and I feel like everyone is just trying their best, and that's all that matters. And I hope that you guys are just praying about it and trying to figure out what's going to be best for your family, and just going with your gut of what you feel is good. Thank you guys, and we'll see you guys in our next video.